Society. Kimberly Borgens here. Welcome to the Hive Society. For those of you who've been around for a while, like, hey, for those of you who are new, so glad that you're here. To those of you that are new here in the Hive Society, I'm excited to have you here. So today, it's Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I do my Facebook Lives every Friday morning. Well, most every Friday in case there's some travel challenges, but, just getting in here to share some wisdom, I've been telling people for many, many years is I've earned every single one of these gray hairs. These are my wisdom highlights, right? And so the purpose of the Hive Society here is to be able to share the wisdom highlights that I have, as a business entrepreneur, as a mom, as a wife, as a friend, as, a community person, is share some things with you so that you can get through it easier than what I did. Because, I already did all the hard work, and I can give you some quick tips or simple ideas or thoughts that could get you moving forward in your life, your business, in your relationships a little bit quicker. So I'm so glad that you're here in the Hive Society. And today I'm going to talk about what hats are you wearing? Right? Like, what hats are you wearing? Because, for many of us women, we put on so many hats, right? We put on the wife hat, right? The wife hat. You got to get into your wife mode, right? Put on the wife hat. Then we, we're moms, and how about, I got to take care of myself hat, right? I got to put on the take care of myself hat, right? And then what happens is, oh, I got to, work in my community and care for my community hat. And I got to put that one on too, right? And then, then I'm the Grammy, right? I got to put on my Grammy hat, right? And, or the mom hat. For some of you, it just might be the mom hat right now. I got to put on the friend hat, the daughter hat, and I got to put on the be kind to everybody hat, right? Because kind people are good people, right? Put on the kindness hat, right? And then I got to put on the adventurer hat, right? I got to get my adventure in, right? Get my adventure in. Well, okay. So what does that look like, right? Adventure in business, adventure in life, adventure with your spouse, adventure with your kids, having fun. Like, we put on so many hats. There's mom, there's wife, there's grandmother, right? Friend, daughter, girlfriend, sister, counselor. All right. You counsel your kids, you counsel your friends, right? How about career woman? Right? You got your job that you go to every day, and you got to put on many hats for that, right? And then you got to put on your entrepreneur hat. Uh-oh, it's getting a little taller than my arms. No. Right? Maybe you're a student of life hat. Oh, my hats are starting to fall. Where else does that show up in my life, right? Your coach hat, your mentor hat, homemaker hat, the teacher hat, maybe the cook's hat. You're the chef at home, the nurse hat. Come on. I can't tell you how many people have called me up, family members, and said, Kimberly, like, this is what's going on with me. Like, what should I do? Call your doctor. No, but Kimberly, I don't want to call my doctor. Tell me, Kimberly, you know so much. Call your doctor. Or I'm putting Band-Aids on knees, skinned elbows, whatever that is. I'm the chauffeur. I got to put my chauffeur's hat, right? Got to put my prayer warrior hat, making sure that, I'm supporting people who are in need of prayer, including myself. I got to put on the miracle worker hat, right? That's the one that looks like a halo up there, right? That list just goes on and on and on. Anybody else ever feel that way? So I'm having fun with the hats today, just to say is, like, we put on so many hats as women. Men aren't willing. They don't even comprehend how many hats that need to happen in the life of a woman, right? They usually have maybe 2 or 3, 4 hats, right? But we just keep piling them on, keep piling them on, keep piling them on. And what I want to do today is just really talk to you so that you are aware of the hats that you are wearing, right? How do you imagine, how do you find the energy and how do you find the time, right, for the millions of tasks that you're expected to do each day under each hat, right? So this is, my Kimberly hat, KR, Kimberly Borgens, got my KB hat, right? And then, this one here, my adventure hat. right? What adventures am I taking? What am I taking in my business? What am I taking with my family? What am I taking with my, friends? Am I getting out into the world and seeing people and meeting new people and so on and so forth? And the Be Kind hat and all of those things. Somehow we appear to do it so effortlessly, right? We go from one role to another role without hardly even blinking an eye, right? We just get going. And what happens is that we don't realize that we have a whole head full of different hats, and we can't figure out why we feel so overwhelmed or feel so stressed or feel so uncared for, because we're so busy caring for or taking care of or doing what's necessary with all these hats, right? So I want to ask you right now, what hats are you currently wearing? Right? What are you currently wearing? Right? What are the hats that you're wearing right now? This one's kind of cool. I might take this one with me. All right. So, as business owners, right? We wear the hats of the business owner. We also wear the hat of the marketing department, the bookkeeper, right? The operations manager, right? How about the car mechanic? We might be doing that. I'm blessed. My husband just takes care of the cars, what he says, for his girls, his ladies, right? Is my daughter comes down, he's like, but come on, let's go get your, because she lives out of state. So it's like, let's go get your car to the shop. Let's get you an oil change. Let's go check those tires. Come on, let's go check. He has made it a top priority for himself to make sure that our cars are, as women, are always in good shape so that nothing happens. And by the way, we've taught that girl how to change a tire. So if something happens, she can change a tire too, right? Like, you're going to need it. So being a car mechanic, even as a woman, right? How about being an engineering person in your business, right? You're engineering new products and new ideas for your business, or, fixing the desk that's broken, or, you're a handy woman, right? Like all these hats we wear, even in business. You're the banker, right? You got to do the ARs and the AP, and you have to make sure that you're sending out the billing, and and you're getting money back in, all of those things. We're wearing all kinds of hats. Okay. Does it feel overwhelming with all the hats that you're wearing? That's not my intent, but I want you to be aware of it. I want you to take a look at and look to see what hats are you currently wearing, because if you don't stop and take a look, it makes it really challenging to remove a hat that's not necessary right now. So a lot of times we're wearing hats that we don't need anymore. Okay. Or how about this? How many of you, how many of you have taken on a hat to help somebody else, to help a friend out, to help your spouse out, to help somebody out, but you keep it on? You don't even give it back. You just continuing to help. Okay. Maybe it's time to give it back. All right. You are not meant to do everything. Okay. And then what happens is we become overwhelmed with all of these hats that we're wearing, that we're not willing to take time off for ourselves either. Right. So you have to, let me tell you a couple of things that you must do in order to really pay attention to the hats that you're wearing and create the boundaries around those hats. Look, somebody might want to give you a hat. Like, oh, look, this one's a cool hat. Just try it on, Kimberly. See how that feels. Oh, look, that feels, oh, look, it fits perfect. And then you take it on. And they've basically just delegated that hat to you because it looked good, right? It fit perfect for you. I had a company that I was working with many, many years ago, and I wanted to do XYZ, but they didn't have that position open. But I was really committed to getting into the company and working with the company because I truly believed in the work that they were doing. And so I said, well, how about if I do this for you? Because it's something that they didn't have in place. And I organized and created manuals and, created the things necessary to help that business grow and be more efficient and effective. Okay. They put me in there and everything else. And then for me to come over to the position that I wanted to, they kept saying, but Kimberly, you're so good over here. We want you to stay here. Right. And I'm like, but no, this is the position and then they would hire people into that position and they would keep me in this one because I was good at it, not because it's what filled my heart and my passion and what it was that I needed. Right. So you have to make choices around that. Just because I was good, over here doing this thing, right? Just because I was good at it doesn't mean that's what I wanted to do. And sometimes we're willing to do something like that for a short time to move up into the position that we're looking for. But if the company's not willing to do that, you got to make choices. Okay. So I got to move up to half the level. And then I just said, you know what? It's clear. I'm out. Have fun. I wish y'all great success. I've set you up for success with all the stuff that I've created for you. And I wish you nothing but the best. And I'm out. So you have to set the boundary. You have to determine what's most important for you. You can wear a hat for a short time, but don't sit there and hold on to it if it's not serving you, if it's not helping you in life, it's not making you feel good. Look, for a moment, I can put on my nurse's hat and take care of my kids as boo-boos, right? They're little owies at our house is what we call them. Oh, you got an owie? Sorry, let's fix that up, right? I only need to be a nurse for a short time. Take that nursing hat off and I don't have to put it back on until it's needed again, right? The same thing as a wife. I put on my wife hat when I'm with my husband and when I'm in relationship with him, but it doesn't mean I have to wear the wife hat all the time. I wear a wife ring instead, right? I don't have to put the hat on too. And I don't have to be a focused, in the moment wife all the time. I get to be Kimberly all the time. And the wife is a role that I get to play with my husband, but I don't have to, be an overbearing wife, be a wife who wants to, take everything off my husband's list so he doesn't have to do anything. Like, no, it's a mutual connection, a mutual agreement of our space together, right? I don't have to wear that hat when I'm taking care of my self-care. Understand what I mean? Like, nobody else is going to put on that hat but you. And you got to make sure that happens, right? But whatever hat you put on, most of them you can take off. Right? I'm not saying take off your wife hat and go hang with somebody else. That's no way. What I'm saying is when I put my wife hat, when I'm with my girlfriends, I'm the girlfriend in that moment. My husband is still there, but I don't have to wear the wife hat. I don't have to be in that space with him in that moment. So, think about it that way. Whatever hat you're wearing, is it needed right now? Can you take off a hat? Look, as an entrepreneur, I was a bookkeeper, I do my social media. I, have to do all the marketing. I have to make the phone calls, all these things. Well, guess what? I don't wear all those hats anymore. I have a bookkeeper who is handling all my books, right? She handles all the AP and the AR, and then we get together on a weekly basis and we go over all of that information. And that's my CEO hat, making sure all of that is moving forward. I don't have to do my social media posts all the time. I do many social media posts, but I have somebody else who does my social media posts, somebody else who's making sure my website is up and running, somebody else making sure that my emails are going out. I don't have to do it all the time, right? Somebody else can do it. I can take that hat off. It doesn't mean that I can't put it on for a moment. I got a harebrained idea. Let me, put that in there. Right? Let me put that on social media. Let me send out that crazy email, right? She'll send out the non-crazy ones, right? So think about all the things. So it's important for you to determine, first off, what hats are you wearing? And then it's important to determine what's important to you. What do you value most that matters, right? And making sure that those are the hats that you're wearing on a regular basis, right? You have to decide, what are those priorities? What are those things that get you to move forward? And if you're wearing a hat that you picked up off the street because nobody else was doing it, right? Or you're wearing a hat that you took off of a friend for a little bit so that they could get a break, give it back. Let it go. If it's not serving you right now, If it's not bringing you joy or satisfaction or value, then I'm going to say, just let that hat go. Okay. It's not yours, right? Give it to somebody else to pick up. All right. So keep those priorities, what's important to you most, keep those right in front of you. Right. I remember one time I was, I think I've told this story before, but for those of you who haven't heard it, I know it's pretty funny. I can tell you, like, I can still vision this story, and this happened like 20 years ago. Okay. I came home from the office. My husband and I are both business partners. We're business partners. I'm the CEO, he's the president, and we work together almost every single day. All right. And so we were at work all day doing work, and I left. I picked up the kids from school. I came home, was doing my, wife, my homeowner, my mom mode. I was in that mode to manage and handle what's happening at home. I was not in business mode when he came walking in from work. So he came walking in, and I'm sitting there, I'm in chef mode, right? I'm sitting at the counter and I'm cutting up vegetables and I'm getting food ready for dinner. And so I'm preparing dinner. The kids are all settled doing their thing. And he comes in and he wants to talk to me about business. My head's not in that space in that moment. It's already come down into this other whole arena called life with the family. And I'm fixing dinner. And he wants to talk to me about business, and he's going on and he's asking me some questions. And I was like, and again, I was chopping. And so I picked up and I had my knife in my hand and I said, listen, and I pointed the knife right at him. And I said, listen, right now I am mom and I am chef and I am wife. I am not your business partner. If you want to talk business, make an appointment with my calendar for tomorrow. But as of tonight, no more business. Went back to chopping my food. He looked at me, big-eyed, turned around and walked away. Right. But I didn't mean to be as dramatic, but I just happened to have a knife in my hand because I was chopping. But I was clear in that moment. What was important to me is that I needed to stay focused on dinner, family, kids, relationship here, not business. Right. Even to this day, I don't even have kids at home anymore. They've all grown up. We're empty nesters. But even to this day, when I get home, I sit in my car for about 5 minutes and I kind of just brush off my day at the office. Right. And I might have a song. If I'm in a mode and there's a song on that I just love, I will not even get out of the car till that song is complete. Okay. Until I'm complete and I realize I am home and this is the roles, these are the hats I'm going to wear at home. I am not going to bring those problems into my home. I am not going to, get all up and crazy in my household for something that went crazy at the office. I'm going to give myself that 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes on a bad day, right? And just sit in my car, gather my thoughts. How do I want to present myself when I walk in the door? I don't have kids at home, but I have 2 dogs. Walk in the door, I'm like, hey, girls. Right. And, so think about it for you. What's a little tool that you can do to get you to like step into a different role, move into the role that you want to? Maybe you're angry right now. You're angry at something, right? You're in the middle of an argument with your spouse, significant other, right? Your kids have just like pulled your last tether and you were just like so livid. You stop and you take a deep breath and you go, what hat do I want to wear? I don't want to wear the angry witch hat. Okay. I don't want to wear I'm pissed off hat. I don't want to wear I'm going to get so stuck in my stuff that I can't work out something with my husband hat. Right. So what hat is it that you need in this moment? Put that baby on and then handle what you need to handle. And then if you don't need it, take it off and put it somewhere else. Okay. Keep your priorities right in front of you and wear the hats that are necessary for that. And the other thing is learn to say no. Learn to say no. I've said this, I don't know, on several of these lives. Learn to say no to the hats that are not serving you. If it detracts you from what your priorities are, then please say no. Because whenever you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else that might be important to you. So say no to the things that are not going to serve you. Say no to the things, that are not a priority. Can you say yes and help somebody out in a moment? Absolutely. And then give it back. Okay. Spend time on your priorities. Otherwise, they don't become your priorities. What happens is you just end up with the big pile of hats of a whole bunch of stuff, right? And you can't even focus on any one. So, pay attention to that. When it comes to self-care, think about that, right? If taking care of yourself, your mental self, right? Your emotional self, your physical self, you need a break, then you have to stop and take a break. Put that hat on, right? That's this one. I'm going to use this one right here for that. Because you know what I'm doing this weekend? I'm going away. I'm going up in the woods and I am sitting in my camper for 4 days and nobody's going to be there. No husband, no dogs, no kids, no phone. I'm detaching from everything. And I'm going to put on my little hat where I can sit in the sun and read my book, right? I'm going to read my book and I'm going to do what it is that I need to do to take care of myself. And I give you permission to take time to do that too. Look, I haven't done something like that in over 2.5 years, right? So it's past ready and due, right? So what is it for you? What's the hat you need to put on today to take care of yourself? What is the hat you need to put on today? Maybe it's the sales hat, the one where you got to pick up that 110-pound phone that you just don't want to pick up and you're going, right? What is that phone call that you need to make? What is that person you need to call to get the sale that you want to do? Like if it's a priority, pick it up. If it's not a priority, that's fun. Have time for fun, but make sure that your priorities are clear, right? Just take care of you. So what hats are you wearing today? What hats do you need to take off? What hats do you need to say no to? What hats can you let go of? Like, what are all those things that you can do that will help you be a strong businesswoman, be a strong woman in relationship, be a strong mom, be a strong, friend, be a strong daughter, whatever that is for you today. What is it that you're going to do? Make sure you put a comment down below. Tell me what's the hat or 2 hats that you're going to wear today. What's one that you're taking off today? Share those with me. I would love to hear about it when I get back. Then I'll respond to those. So thanks for joining me. For those of you who have joined me, who are watching this later, if there's anything I can do to support you, if you have ideas of what you'd like for me to share about that, you're like, I have a burning question, Kimberly, help me figure this one out. Feel free, put it in the comments, and who knows, I'll throw in an extra live or, respond to you specifically. All right. Hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week here at the Hive Society, where I'm sharing wisdom highlights so that you can be more successful quicker without all the chaos, because I've already been through the challenges that I know you're going to go through too. All right. Have a great week.